Well, folks, we are back in the lab, and we have a new project here, and we have a new supervisor. This is Jack. Jack is going to be supervising this project today. Super Baby is taking a supervisor position off today. He's got some union things going on there. Who knows? But here is our... Now we can put some light back on. We'll keep an eye on you, Jack. So, what we have here is, for all intents and purposes, this is an Embury little air pilot, number 1. And this is an ELGIN jobber. But I do know that there was a Chicago Railroad, ELGIN Railroad, and there's a town in Illinois, ELGIN. So I would assuming, I also know that they are a manufacturing company. But, yeah, that's, I don't know much more than that, because this is my first ELGIN, and I've seen these for sale for many, many years. But this, the paint is coming off. This is a flat black, and there's fish eyes everywhere. It looks like, who knows what splattered all over it and just kind of ate right through the paint. But, yeah, and, we know how beautiful Embury steel is, so I'm excited to see. I can tell by looking at this, it's just gonna be wonderful. Let's open her up and take a look around before we do a little disassembly and take it to the kitchen for some stripper. All right, so where to start? Well, let's start by, oh, okay, good, it came loose. Okay. Let's, ooh, okay. Yeah, I can tell that that globe has not been taken out in a very long time. I could feel by the stiffness of that globe plate. And I have got an E10 that'll fit in here. This is, I'll clean this up and put that in some CLR to get that rustiness off of there. So yeah, this, yeah, that hinge right there. We can get that off. We can get that off before we even work at getting the burner off. So let's, I'm gonna get this plate off of here. There we go. There we go. Okay. Oof. Okay, well, that grommet was moving while I was trying to get that out. See, I didn't know what kind of bend was after that. Because the last one of these, the little air pilot I worked on, I just disconnected here and left this whole thing on. I think I still want to take that apart and clean out what's causing that problem there. So why don't I do that? Okay. Oh yeah, this had gotten quite rusty in here, and we'll take care of that. Indeed, indeed we will. Okay. If I sniffle through this, I do apologize if I sniffle through this whole restoration. The sniffles hit me this morning with a vengeance. It's one thing having a runny nose. When it comes out like water and you're in a supermarket with a cart and you didn't bring Kleenex with you, you feel like a real bum wiping stuff on your arm. Yeah, too much information. I apologize, folks. I think I'll probably just bury this in time lapse somewhere. All right, so we can clean that. We'll clean this, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just got black paint on it. That. We can take the bail off. One bail, expertly removed. And I'm not surprised that this is seized up. Okay, so. And Ken, if you're watching, I know I got to get out and get some liquid wrench or some Croil. Make this thing. It's funny that I started this just a few minutes after corresponding with my friend Ken about getting frozen burners loose. So I'm going to give this a little time. Let that work its way around there. And I thought I'd bring over a little visitor while we wait. And here we have a little air pilot. As you can see, it's the same exact thing. But this one looks much better. Hopefully this one will look much betterer also. This one doesn't have a net. This one's got a bit of a problem there. So, and the problem we're having here is with that burner. See, and now I know what direction I need to have that turning. Because depending on what lantern you're doing, to free that up, it may go the other direction. And I can give this a little coaxing because that's just the way I am. Oh, there we go. It worked. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful wick. We'll use that again for sure. Inside the tank looks absolutely beautiful. Barely used, beautiful. Okay, great. I may want to plop this in some rust remover while we're in the kitchen doing the sink stuff. So this is a reusable rust remover. I'm just going to plop this in there. And we'll toss that in there. These are going to go to the sink with me. It's another experiment we're doing. We'll see how well that does after an hour or whatever. And not knowing how long the paint stripping is going to take. So by the way, the paint stripping, today I'm going to try Easy Off. Easy Off is going to be my primary source of paint stripping. Okay, so I am off to the sink, and I'm going to put some Easy Off on there and let it sit for 15 minutes or so. Yeah, this can go in the rust remover. All right, this can be all solved on the big wheel. I'll put that over by the big wheel. And this and this and this. Supervisor Jack will be here waiting when we get back. So, I don't think I need to take you with me. Well, who knows? I'll bring the camera along. If I have anything to report, I'll let you know. Well, Easy Off seems to have gotten through this all by itself. It doesn't look like I'm going to need to do much scrubbing at all. Look at that. Man, without even doing anything. Okay. Well, I'm going to wipe it all off now. See what we got. Well, it done good. It did really good. A little effort to get that much, but you could tell where it stops, where it's not going past. So this, I'm going to put paint stripper on this because I know how well paint stripper does on just little remnants like this around. But yeah, it did well. Not the metal, not the shiny tin that I usually expect. But there is a lot of oxidation that was hidden underneath that paint, for sure. It's still going to be a gorgeous lantern. It's just not going to have a mirror finish like its twin brother. All right, back to it. I am back from the sink. And this is what we got. We got dark steel. Interesting. Was not expecting that. But it's not a bad thing. It's still Embury steel. So, be interesting to see what we can get out of this. You got lots of the... So, it really worked out well. Doing the first coating of remover with Easy Off. And it got about 90% of the paint off. And it just left a real thin layer. Yeah, I have a piece of steel wool or something stuck in me. Yeah, and then I put my regular paint stripper on the rest of it, and it took all that right off. It was very easy, and I say that easy compared to some of the lanterns I've had to deal with lately. So, and I realized while I was doing it, I'm like, oh, I realized I left the crown on, but I don't think there's any reason for me to take it off. I can work around anything going on there, and there's still some of the paint stripper in there. But I think this is going to look beautiful. And I took these out of the rust remover. All right, so what I'm going to do now, poor Jack had been here for a couple hours all by himself, keeping an eye on things. There's a couple cats in here, so he had work to do. All right, so first, I think I'm going to get this stuff on the wheel. Throw this and these things on the big wheel. Then we'll come back here and we'll do the small bits and everything else that we do as we do. That revealed a lot about this metal. This is going to be so pretty. I mean, this is going to be kind of a yin to the yang of the other one I got here, as you can see by contrast. Excuse me there, Jack. Yeah, so you can see the big difference. So, this, I would assume, was sold with tin on it. This, who knows, maybe this company that, you know, ELGIN, maybe they ordered them without tin, and maybe they said they're going to paint it themselves or something, I don't know. That black paint I took off certainly was not original. Maybe there was other black paint underneath that. Maybe that's what didn't come off with the first application of Easy Off. I don't know. But it's beautiful. It's beautiful. This is going to be, I can't wait. Yes. Okay, let's Get on it. And water keeps coming out of the air tube constantly as I was rolling it around on the grinder. It was all just shooting out. And these came out fine. Came out great. That's where all the rustiness was. That's all taken care of. Yeah, even that's going to match. Great. Okay, parts in. So, let me see where I want to start here. All right. I'm going to start with a green wheel and clean up this globe plate. I'll save this wire wheel. We'll be needing that. I'm choosing this for its coarseness. Oops. Okay. Okay, you come back here. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. We'll clean that up. So, oh, jeez. Yeah, this belongs to a gem. I have an all brass CT ham gem that I have Christmas lights in. And don't worry, I didn't poke any holes or electrify or do any of that. It's just a little cord, kind of the hole that this goes in, enough to get the cord through, and blah, 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 blah. I have a picture. Maybe I'll insert it right here. Okay. So, I learned from experience to hold on to these little things like this for dear life, so they don't go flying across the room and you'll never see them again. I think we can start doing some steel woolen. What do you say? I know that's what you're all waiting for. You just really enjoy seeing the steel wool job done here. So since this thing was a little moist around the edges from the paint removal, I am a little worried about the steel wool dust sitting in the corners in some of that leftover paint removing gel or just water, and then it kind of causing a rust problem down the road. See that? That's it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Let's look. You see there? If they'll stop shaking. So there's water around the air tube, and there is steel wool dust that is stuck to that little area. So if I don't get that off there before I treat with oil, I'm going to seal in that steel wool dust underneath the oil and against the metal here. And these little shavings down here are such an intensely high surface area that they rust incredibly fast. I mean, you can almost sit here and watch this if it was humid. All right, let me go down to the 4-0. Okay. So like I said, this is the 4-0. I'm just kind of going over real quick. Real quick like. Okay, so I think I did a little steel wooling on these things while I realized the battery was dead because I didn't plug my phone in. And I record with my phone, in case you wondered. This stuff came out beauteous. So I think we'll do a little reassembly. And then we will treat. Let this thing to continue to dry out nicely. I'm actually seeing something that's bothering me. That has all the criteria in it that I don't like. And that is down in here. It's wetness and steel wool dust. Cramped. Okay, good. Yeah, that's what it's working. But that's come on now. Oh, man. Tell you, man, that is an area for catching everything and making you bleed. Okay. Good. All right, let's see. First part is get this baby back in there. Great, that's where we want to be with that. Close up this little gap here. I got that hole closed back up. Okay, good. And I got this all cleaned up. And I'm going to put my trusty stick back here. Give me a little manageability. Yeah, that's great. All right. Don't tell anybody, but I put this on upside down. It's the old dyslexia kicking in. Okay, I need a little added light. Unfortunately, because of placement of the camera, a lot of times inhibits viewing. Because otherwise, I'd like to put the lamp right in front of where the camera's at. Oh, this is better. There. Excellent. Okay. So. Beautiful. And of course, because there's water in here, I'm gonna, just for the sake of you being here, I'm gonna put these parts in. And after I'm done with the video, I'll take the filler cap and a burner out. In. And we're over. All right. Filler cap. Hey. I like butter. All right. Oh, the bale. I did not steal all that. I'll be right back. Okay. Big pliers. Okay, super. Oh, geez, I gotta find a globe for this. I gotta make sure I can find a number 10. It'll fit right in there. All right, well, interesting. I don't have another number 10. I have one sitting in a lantern over here that has found a home, a new home, and it's going with that. So I cleaned up the one that was in there, and I got a good amount of the oxidation off after it's only been soaking for a couple hours in that rust remover. But I just realized we didn't treat yet. Here I am ready to put the globe in, and here I am putting this in here, and I haven't treated yet. Okay. Linseed oil. We got a brush. I think it's time to try a much newer brush. And I have some new linseed oil coming. I had to throw some out. I'm pretty sure that the linseed oil has started turning. So it got real pasty, like immediately. Just minutes after applying it. It was very strange. I mean, it was acting like that's the way it would be after a day of sitting on it, not just a matter of minutes. All right. So, okay. Been a full day here for Jack doing his security work here. All right. So, can't wait to see how this metal is going to react visually to the oil. So, let's observe. We are done with this, and I didn't paint the bale because there'll be enough residual on this rag when I'm done to give the bale some oil, and you really want to. Things like these wires, these are going to be the first things to start to flash rust on you, and even if you treat linseed oil or WD-40 or whatever it is you use to treat your metal, you're going to get flash rust right away. It happens. It just happens. Because you made it so vulnerable. I mean, that oxidation may have started before you were even done restoring the lantern. I mean, I've seen patches of rust show up overnight, so it's crazy. Oh, I should have waited to put the bale on. It's a love-hate thing, me and bales. It purely has to do with my setup here at my table, because now that the bale handle is up like that, it's hitting all kinds of things. It's hitting cords and lights and the top of the shelf that is on top of my workbench here, or my lab table, whatever you want to call it. I love these Emburys. If I've had an Embury that didn't turn out looking very nice, and it's not the fault of Embury, I'll tell you what, it could, there's a couple that have just been so far gone. But, I mean, I even have this being a little air pilot. I have an air pilot that I pieced together with Dietz light parts, like burner, and it's got a blizzard crown on the top. That's kind of a Frankenstein-y kind of thing, but it's still very Embury. Okay, so that bale acting like that. I'm going to see if I can remedy that just a little bit. Excellent. All right, now it's not. Trusty chopstick. I got all kinds of little nooks and crannies here to get oil out of, because it looks like little wet spots there. Acting weird like that. Let me see. Okay. Excellent. There. It's so weird being without the name, without Embury across there. Embury, little air pilot. Okay, Jack, I'm going to put you over here, buddy. Yeah. Interesting. Two distinct metal differences. A tin and no tin. Pretty cool. And you can still see the same swipe of solder here. Here and there. Where that solder is on top of the tin here. And there's no tin here. Pretty cool. Just a couple Emburys out for the night. Yes, indeed. All right. So, folks, let's come on down here and take a look. That is a beauty. I'm very happy with the way that came out. Nothing wrong with this thing at all. Nope, nope. Pretty awesome. Folks, me and Jack want to thank you for stopping by for another project here in the lab. I hope you enjoyed. And I hope you learned something, because I learned some things. I always learn something new. With all these lanterns I've done, I'm still learning new stuff. Folks, thank you so much. And why am I dragging on? I don't know, but I need to end and say, don't you go change.